Hello and welcome to Stage, Screen, and In Between. I'm Helen. I'm very excited because today I have a fabulous director and writer with me, Joe Gawalis, with an exciting new movie called The Breaking Point. Joe, I'm so happy that you're here. I am so excited about the opening of your new movie on Friday.
I'm excited to be here as well, Helen. Thank you so much, really. I love your show. You're a fantastic person as well, and it's great being here. Thank you.
Thank you. So now tell me, what was your inspiration for writing this? Because this is actually the story of a man whose life has gone wrong. He had the American dream, and things aren't going as he thought. He did everything he was told, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
And things didn't go right. Now, that's something that everybody can identify with at some point in their life. Something's going wrong. For this guy, big things are going wrong. So what made you smart enough to see that and do this?
Well, it's a very realistic story, and it's funny you said it. It's supposed to be the American dream gone wrong. Yeah. And it's almost like the American nightmare. So many of us are told from childhood, from starting in school, just follow the rules, walk the line they tell you to walk, don't push boundaries. If you're, a little bit eccentric or you're artistic, don't do that. Just go in line with everybody else and trudge through. And what it does is, as you get older, it puts you in a position where now you're just left in no man's land. Jim's character is a 52-year-old man who works a regular job, got stepped over for promotion multiple times because he did exactly what was told. He never pushed to be anything more than he could be. He was left in that middle ground. And really the motivation was looking around you. There's so many people that you meet through life that have such potential, and they have vision, they have dreams, they have charisma, but instead they just got, beat down, and they say, you know what, why even take a shot?
Well, it's cookie cutter, and part of it has to do with maybe the way that you were educated. It can be your religious beliefs, stay humble and, put yourself in the back, you'll be promoted to the front, but it doesn't always work out like that, right?
Yeah, I think I think the key in life is always stay humble, but always be confident in your abilities. You should always. I always say there's a big difference between confidence and arrogance. You should. I think everybody, something like making a film or any kind of business is all a team collaboration, and you should always be humble. But at the same time, you should always be striving to go forward and always be striving to better yourself. I think because when you do better, it doesn't just do better for you; it betters the entire team. Now, if you're even in a corporation and you're doing better, the company's going to make more and everybody's going to do more. I think it's always better to try to achieve more because I think not competition, but ability always breeds better ability. If you're doing better, the people around you will do better. You have to, because now everybody is performing at a certain level and it makes everybody be a better person instead of trying to hold back. I would say make everybody rise to your light and be great instead of being like somebody, don't hold back for no reason.
So now let me ask you, you're also an actor, and in your last film you had a role and you acted, and in this movie you're not acting in it. Can I ask you why you didn't write yourself a role?
I love... I'm a director and a filmmaker, producer first above anything else.
Because some people are actors first, so you feel that way. Okay.
I've been in film my entire life and creating cinema. I was just very fortunate to have studied, and when I was learning directing, took amazing courses to understand actors and saw that I had a bit of a small ability for acting. I have such respect for actors that study the craft, that are out there really honing their skills and taking classes and expanding every single day. I'm fortunate that for my last film, it was about an addict. And when I do perform, I'm a character actor type, and I fit that role correctly. Yeah. And that's why I put myself in there, is because I was able to perform in that particular environment. Right. This film didn't fit me at all, so there's no reason for me to be in there. So.
Okay. Now let me ask you, how do you go about your writing? Do you write all in one shot? Do you take your time with it, or is it different for each film that you do?
Well, no, I mean, it all depends on the film, but normally, it's like anything. You got to believe in the basics. I'm a huge believer of outlines and getting things going, and you outline a good script, and it also depends on the timetable for each film. So, I own Cliffside Productions, and it's a production company. So, as a business, you have to slate yourself what film you're going to do in what year and what time period. So, you have to perform around certain things. So, there's certain scripts that are a little bit longer, and certain scripts that could take, a shorter period of time. And it's really what what our objective is as a company moving forward, of how long I'll take writing a script.
Oh, so tell us something about the actors that you have, because you do have William DeMeo, who is really doing some very big films right now, and you have Joe Donofrio, and you have James K. FULATER. Am I pronouncing that? FULATER.
I still can't pronounce it right.
Right. So How was it working with the actors that you chose? Because you basically did most of the casting.
Yeah, John Thomas at JT Talent also helped out as well, and but it was amazing working with these guys. I mean, working with William and Joe. These guys have been in the business for a great, they're phenomenal. These guys have been doing great. Joey was in The Bronx Tale and Goodfellas, and Will's now in The Life and Death of John Gotti with John Travolta and First Kill with Bruce Willis. And these two guys are some of the most humble people I've met.
Yeah,
they're
really nice people.
phenomenal, really phenomenal guys. They work so hard, and it doesn't matter if they're doing a project with these A-list celebrities or an independent film. They bring 100% to the table at all times, and you have to admire that, because these are guys to look up to. And Joe Donofrio as an actor, William as an actor, William also as a producer is somebody I look up to, what they do and their abilities. Films like Back in the Day, Once Upon a Time in Brooklyn, The Wannabes. I mean, these are phenomenal films, and really as a filmmaker, I admire everything they do, and having them work on our team has been phenomenal. And working with Jim was just a blessing. I mean, it's just somebody who I hope explodes into the business. He's a great, phenomenal actor, an amazing person. He dedicates so much. This was not an easy role for him to do. I mean, this is a very dark role. He gets beat on, not literally beat on, but he gets put down the entire film, most of the movie. So this is not an easy role. Like it's easier to perform when you're the alpha male and it's a cool role and you're going in there feeling confident every day. Jim's character was not a confident guy. So there's even times, people start, even some of the background performers start looking at him like, is this guy really that character? You know what I mean? So it wasn't.
He was that convincing. So tell me something about the distribution, because you already have good contacts going with iTunes. It's already on pre-sale. Tell us something about that.
We're very blessed to be doing very well on iTunes right now. Right now we're available for pre-sale on iTunes. You can find it Breaking Point the movie. We're actually very fortunate to break the top 40 list already, and we're in direct competition now with films like The Comedian with Robert De Niro, and the other day, The Zookeeper's Wife, and there's movies with Charlie Day from Always Sunny in Philadelphia up there. So these are the people that we're at times outselling and then right in competition with, which is just surreal. And it's, there's one platform, so it's like one step of the subject. I'm sure they would be doing phenomenal on other platforms much more than we are, but in this thing, it's like what we're trying to show is independent films could stand with the giants. It doesn't matter if it's for one day, for 1 week. I mean, we get to show that the little guys can still do it, and we all have to band together and support independent film. The most important thing I always say to everybody is I try to buy any independent filmmaker's movie that goes out there, because if they do well, we do well. We can use each other as demographics. You can say, well, look at what the Breaking Point did. Look what they did. There's actors that are in my movie that's in your movie, and people that are in production that are involved with different movies. It's a small circle. So if we can use these as demographics when we go towards investors and later banks and whatnot for loans, you can use these. I think all of us supporting each other, we're all better doing that way. We're all on this together.
So, Joe, let me just ask you quickly, what would your breaking point be? Or did you have a breaking point almost while you were making this movie?
The traffic on the way home from here will be my breaking point. That will be my breaking point. But
it is true, and I like the title, because some people, you say, I'm at my breaking point. If one more thing happens, I don't know if I could do this anymore, Sure, so everybody can really identify with, they're curious to see what is your character's breaking point, because we all know what our breaking point could be, right?
Absolutely. And going on that note, we have, what we're doing right now is we're creating almost a movement part of our marketing. You can hashtag what's your breaking point. You are. What's your breaking point? And right now we have multiple memes up there and videos, and most of them are centered around Jim, unfortunately looking a little bit foolish, but it is catching on. It's a fun thing, and we want to encourage our fans and supporters out there to send us your breaking point, and you can send that to our Facebook fan page, What's Your Breaking Point, also our website, what'syourBreakingPoint.com, our Instagram, Breaking Point the Movie. So we really want to engage the audience. It's something that you can have fun with, and at the same time, it's a very serious subject matter, but it's funny when you almost get pushed too far, you can almost look at it in a comical way. When something goes that bad, you look back at it later, you're like, well, I was kind of dumb to get that mad at that.
Yeah, well, it's all a learning process. So we're looking forward to the red carpet that you're going to be having on Friday, April 28th in New York City. The best of luck with that. I'm sure you'll have a phenomenal turnout. And thank you so much for sharing all this with us.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Going in a younger direction.
The kids are getting older. They don't want to see you anymore.
Pull the trigger and let this guy go.
I'm gonna have to let you go, Jim. Bye, Dad.
What are you doing?
You have nothing.
You're a pussy. That's what the problem is.
I got anything you need. It just depends on how much you want to spend.
You just don't see as valuable anymore.
You want your old life back?
This is
You're
it.
never gonna get it. Ever.
This is it, Jim.
Same thing, Jim.
I hear you're a man who knows how to get things.
Oh, yeah.
I want to buy a gun.
I'm now with the star of the Breaking Point, James K. FULATER. James, how excited are you to have the lead role in such a big movie now?
I'm very excited. This is a dream come true. It's the whole team effort on this has been just fantastic. Where we've taken it, where it's gone, the whole iTunes thing is just incredible.
Yeah, but you're a lifelong actor. You've been acting for quite a while, right? So this is a big break for you because you're with Joe Donofrio and William DeMeo and Oriana D'Agostino and good, solid actors. So how difficult was it for you to get into a role that was kind of depressing?
It was very interesting. As an actor, Joe and I talked about the exploration of where we had to go with it, what we needed to do. We spent a lot of time prep work for it. And then the big thing about it is making sure you stay in the moment, that you're not getting too behind the scenes, getting too wrapped up in talking to everybody, that you take your time and do the process properly.
Okay. Now, how do you like to work it? Now, when you take a break, do you like to stay away from the people and stay in character, or do you go back into yourself and then go back into the character? What's your preference?
I can go back and forth. I like to come out of, what I'm doing. I don't have to stay in method. But at the same time, you do have to give yourself enough time to distance yourself and get back to where the frame of mind you're supposed to be in, and get back to that. Yeah,
and some people don't understand that they're laughing and talking, and you have to go to a very special place. And I know it's really hard because I'm also an actress and I do theater, and you can be waiting to go onto that stage, waiting on the curtain for the moment when you step out, and you're with people that have, they're just going to play cards in the background, but you have this like really big thing coming, and they're laughing and chit-chatting, and you don't want to be rude, but you really have to concentrate, so you're good at concentration, right? Now, I want to ask you, how hard is it for you to memorize your lines?
Not too bad. I do pretty good. I've got a system down where I know if I go through it enough times, I'll have it down. Mm-hmm. I'm very fortunate that way that, it just comes with practice.
Now, when you do your takes, do you do it the same way each time, or do you experiment? What did Joe like? Did he allow you any leeway in changing it a bit?
It's always, it evolves as you go. Certainly when you're connected emotionally to what you're saying and what you're doing, there's going to be some evolution to that. Mm-hmm. And you always have the freedom to do that, and you want that, to see where it goes and how you interact with other people.
Who are some of the actors that you admire?
Growing up, I like Clint Eastwood was a big one. I'm a big fan of Bruce Willis, which I'm really jealous that William DeMeo got to work with him. Obviously, like everybody else, all the big stars. Yeah.
And where do you picture yourself in 5 years? What would you like to do with your career?
Television and movies. That's always been my passion. I've done stage and I like it. But television now is so good that I'd like to stay, in television and see what we can do with that.
I'm kind of lost in the 60s. I'm still watching Bonanza. Do you have any other activities? Because the name of the show is Stage, Screen, and In Between, and I'm wondering, what are some of your hobbies?
Honest to God, I put all my effort and energy into acting when I'm, not doing anything else. That's what I think and live and breathe, as they say. That's always been my passion.
Really? Now, did you have any personal experience that you used to draw on for your character?
You know what? You just take life in the ups and downs of life, and you magnify it. Certainly, what Jim Thompson goes through is a lot of everything, and to pile that all on, you can understand what would drive him and what would take him, to that degree. I haven't experienced anything that bad, but at the same time, it wouldn't take that much.
Okay. So now I haven't seen the movie, and if I did, I couldn't let you guys know about it. But what are some of your coping mechanisms when something goes wrong? What do you do in your personal life when things go wrong? how do you cool down?
Just try to take time away and really, you realize that there's a bigger picture to it. I have 2 children, so I've gone through times where you need to just step away from anything that's making you crazy and then calm down and just come back at it a different way.
Okay. Well, it was so great talking to you, and the best of luck to you. I can't wait to see you on the big screen. This is going to be so exciting. I got to meet you in person.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, James. I'm now here with Chris Victor, and he's just the producer. And you know why I say he's just the producer? Because when we do independent films, all the people involved in indie films, there's so many hats you have to wear sometimes. You're the actor, you're the producer, you're helping with the craft services, you're telling, the elector, don't use that plug, do this. So when I say that, I don't mean that in a demeaning way. Being the producer's hard enough. Chris, congratulations on having this position in this fantastic movie, The Breaking Point.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, we wear many hats as a producer, especially at the independent level. Yeah. But it's my pleasure to do everything because it's just from working on sets for years as both an actor as well as a producer, I see what sort of doesn't fit or what needs to be changed, so I have this ability to do that. What I'd like to do is just sort of get things done, basically, as a producer.
So that's so important because you've got the know-how, because you have like the whole bird's eye view because you've done so many things and seen so many things. So tell us a little bit about how you hooked up with Joe and maybe another project you've worked on or one that's coming up.
Yeah, I mean, they asked me the other day on Fox 5 about my production and happy to work with Joe. And I said, yeah, well, I've already worked with Joe. So I came on as a co-producer of Around Every Corner, a film about drug addiction. Joe tends to bring these characters to life, real-life stories, like we do here in The Breaking Point as well.
Yeah. So now, who was the boss? You or Joe? Or did you ever clunk heads at all?
No, never. That's what's great. Joe and I actually coined the phrase, I believe, the human Google. We have 2 minds that just work in hyper speed, and we both have very same work ethic, integrity, not an issue at all with regard to our relationship working together, except positive. So basically, we read each other's minds. It seems like a lot of times. So I said once with actually another project that we were doing, a documentary, that he's the director. He's the chief. We're just the Indians, So I consider myself an Indian. Even though I wear the producer's hat, I'm a worker among workers.
That's good. You're a worker bee. You don't mind working, right? And I want to mention, I have to say, I'm a little disappointed because Chris is a fantastic actor, but he's not going to be acting in this movie. So I have to say I'm a little disappointed, but I want to see you again in something.
Well, yeah, you will see me in something as an acting. It's taking a back seat right now to my producing. We have a few projects producing, Joe and I, in the future as well, coming up after Breaking Point. But right now the focus is Breaking Point, you can buy it on iTunes as of April 18th. And actually, I can tell you my breaking point happened that day.
Oh, tell me.
I actually had a breaking point. The same day I was supposed to drive this film with regard to iTunes sales and let everyone in the world know about it, I had a major breaking point in my house with regard to plumbing. And there was stuff everywhere, and I had to be there from 8:30 in the morning to 6:30 at night. Meanwhile, all along looking to do what I committed to Joe to do. Yeah. So I've been there every day with the exception of that day, and it bothers me. And that's why I know that, I believe in Joe's vision. You're
not going to give you a gold star, then you missed a day.
I missed a day, yeah. That's going to be docked in my pay and my salary, but that's okay because,
Let me ask you, how excited are you, though, that you got it on iTunes, you have distribution, there's so much interest, you're up there mentioned with the big movies, you've got William DeMeo, Joe Donofrio, and a lot of other great actors. You're going to have the opening to show it, limited though, on Friday. Mm-hmm. How exciting is it to see all this, after all your hard work, to actually come to pass?
Oh, I'm very excited because we're doing something is different. I call Joe and I pioneers in this industry, especially at this level of independent filmmaking. We're having an Oscar-like red carpet premiere on the 28th, okay? Starting out with the iTunes pre-sales, okay, available from the 18th. This is more of an event for, the industry, people in the industry, and more for almost like a congratulations, little pat on the back for all the hard work we did and are continuing to do up until that date and going forward after that. What's great about that is, we also have the pre-sales. What we're doing with regard to our marketing plan is making it move on iTunes and compete with the bad boys, the big boys, I should say, of Hollywood, we're having a position as low as 32 on the top 100 pre-sales of iTunes, which is doing really well. And I'm excited about that. But we also have now a release date of the actual film on iTunes, to watch, to actually view it, which moved from the 16th to the 12th to the 9th. That's also fluctuating from based on what we're doing every day with regard to marketing this film. So I believe Joe and I are onto something here with regard to a new way of marketing films at this level, competing with the big boys without putting millions of dollars into marketing, just by hard work.
Now, does this go overseas? What happens with the overseas market?
There's going to be on VOD. You're going to see also on TV, Dish Network, Comcast. We have several other, Amazon. Work on Verizon. It's going to be as big as we can possibly make this film because we believe in it. So we believe in each other, we believe in ourselves, and there's nothing stopping us. We don't sleep. The other night we passed out of pure exhaustion when we had to actually go to something else, which not had to go. I believe we have to be everywhere, but we can't be everywhere until I get that cloning machine that I'm talking about. Because we have this work. We work until when we wake up, we're on the phones, on the computers, talking to people on the phone, texting, and all this stuff until the minute we pass out at the end of the night.
Until they reach their breaking point. So everybody, keep your eyes peeled for Breaking Point. It's on iTunes. It's going to be released other places. I'm sure you're going to see it all over.
Oh, yeah, see it on your TV at home.
Video on demand. Make sure you see it.
Yes. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hey, I'm Joe Gawalis, the director of The Breaking Point.
I'm Chris Victor, producer of The Breaking Point.
And I'm James K. FULATER. I'm the star of The Breaking Point.
And we just wanted to thank everybody out there for all the support. And what we want to really say is to support all independent films, not just our film. I think we really have to stand together, band together. This is a new age today with the modern day way to distribute films and the internet platforms and the video on demand platforms. We can band together now, and if we stand together and keep creating great cinema and bringing great, amazing actors in and great people that you work with behind the scenes, we can really make a difference and show that independent films could stand for just one day, one moment, and continue to stand with the biggest films in the world. We can make waves if we do things together. We have to ally and try to do this together.
No, I agree. Totally agree with you, Joe. I mean, what we need to do is, in unity, there's strength, okay? So by us combining our efforts together, we could definitely reach more people through social media these days, unlike they could do years ago. We can film more frequently and more often because we're not using film. We have digital now, so it's giving us a lot more freedom. But what you need to do, though, is put a lot of hard work behind it. So it's not as easy as just filming it. The filming is actually, I think, the easiest part. After filming, then you have to edit it. The editing is hard. I've seen Joe on the computer. I've seen other editors work day and night and basically just put everything they got, blood, sweat, and tears, into editing. Then we have the marketing and distribution, which becomes even harder. What we have here is a grassroots approach. Okay, we find that by talking to the people, not just posting on social media, actually interacting with people, and basically selling yourself. They're buying you before they buy any product, but then to have a great product to back that up, along with good people and integrity and good work ethic, I believe that's what it takes. Yeah.
I've got the easy part. I act in a movie and have these guys backing me up. And like they said, this is how things get done, and this is how things get done right. And if you want to reach higher, you got to work for it, and that's what this is all about.
Anything to add there, Chris?
I mean, I could talk forever. No, just to be so passionate, to work with other people, like-minded people, like you, Joe. It's just, I've said it before on Fox 5 when they interviewed us. It's just to have someone that has integrity, as a person, a hard work ethic, the attention to detail as a director, as well as, in the editing room, and, just we don't sleep. We basically wake up, we're on the computers, we're on the phones, we're texting, we're emailing, we're phone call, three-way phone calls. I mean, doing everything that it takes in order to make it in this industry. There's a lot of competition, and you can have a great product. And, part of my company, Victor Productions, which works with Cliffside Productions on The Breaking Point, is my mission is to have other artists' work seen. Because a lot of great, talented people are out there, but they're not seen because they don't have the business acumen, the wherewithal to get their product out. And we're hoping to inspire other people to do the same and believe in yourself and the product that you make and go out there and get it out there to as many people as you can.
Exactly, yeah. But if you believe in yourself and you believe in the people around you, I think we can all succeed together. I think community and working together is the key. And I'm just blessed to be able to do what we do. Thank you again, Helen, for having us here. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.